Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk. I'm your host, C Money, and this is another episode. First off, I'd like to say sorry for the um, vision of the thing. It's kind of it's raining outside, so it's kind of dark. And normally, you could like my resolution of my episodes, you could see me a little bit more brighter than this, and it's kind of dark, and it's morning time, so normally I do my shows normally in good lighting settings, so the light setting is kind of messed up, but I tried to get it where I can get to most lighting settings so you can see me, because I do look a little dark, but I'm sorry for that. And this is a new device that I'm using. This is the first time I'm doing a video, doing an episode on one of my new devices. I still have my old device. It's just my old device was kind of giving me problems, but I'm still using it. But I wanted to try my new device. But let's get right into it. I want to talk about a topic that's been it's not really a topic that's been a topic because the main topic has been coronavirus and everything else and stuff like that. But this is a topic I want to talk about: the rise and the fall of homosexuality. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because there's been controversy for the past couple of months and about a year about, I don't know if y'all heard of this rapper called Lil Nas X. And, he was a Grammy winner, I believe. He won awards. He came out in 2019 with the song Old Town Road with Billy Ray Cyrus, and it became like a hit. And it became like one of the best songs ever. I love Old Town Road. When I first heard it, granted, I was in Albany, Georgia, visiting a friend who was staying in Albany, Georgia at the time, and we was at a club, and the DJ played the song, and I literally was like, "Ooh!" And then after I visited Albany, I stayed a few days in Atlanta, because I was visiting Atlanta. I don't know if I told you that back in 2019, and in 2019 I went to a little function or whatever. 2019 was before COVID, and then they played the song constantly in Atlanta, and I'm like, everywhere I went, they kept playing Old Town Road, Old Town Road, Old Town Road. So I googled it. I'm like, oh, this guy is called Lil Nas X, and he's from Atlanta, and I was like, wow. And one of the things that came to my mind, which I'm not saying that and don't get it in my head, because I've been told that Atlanta is the capital of homosexuality in African American men, because a lot of, and I don't think this is true, but they say that the AIDS epidemic is high in Atlanta because homosexuality is high, but I don't think it's true. But we'll get that on another topic. But I've been told that homosexuality and gay black men, the capital is Atlanta. And the one thing that came in my mind, maybe he's a young, because at one point they said he was, not homeless, but he was living on his sister or cousin's floor or something like that, or bed or something like that. And, I don't know the whole story behind them. And I did do my research and stuff like that, but I know, and I was like, oh wow. And then it wasn't until after his album came out and after he made all that money when he came out with his sexuality as gay. So now he's coming out with another album, Montero, which is coming out later this month. Go get the album if you're a Lil Nas X fan. And the controversy was his first song, Montero, Call Me By Your Name, gave a lot of controversy because he was dancing with the devil. Now, and then I follow Lil Nas X on social media. I also follow a lot of other celebrities because like there are celebrities that I do follow that do have you got to keep up with modern controversy because I do have a show and I do talk about things. And Lil Nas X, I followed him ever since Old Town Road because I was a fan of Old Town Road, and his first album I liked, and there were songs on his album that he didn't produce. I mean that he didn't make as singles and pushed out that I did like, because I totally liked the whole album. And Montero, Montero, the album, I Call Me By Your Name is an okay song, but a lot of people was backlashing it because, oh, he's dancing with the devil and he's doing this, and he's twerking, and he's, saying, got all this, doing all this gay stuff, and a lot of people are backlashing. And let me tell you about homosexuality. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Homosexuality now is more bigger than when it was back in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. Because right now, homosexuality is more open in more cases. Granted, there are still people and areas out there that still frown on homosexuality. But now you have more homosexuality out there than it was back in the 90s. Like, it was hard for a lot of the people. I'm not saying that I'm gay. I'm not saying that I'm homosexual, what I'm saying? I'm not, saying that, oh, I support it or anything like that. I'm not saying that I do. I'm not saying that I don't, because everybody is everybody. I know there are some people that probably watch this show that may be a lesbian woman or homosexual male. And, there are people out there that may get offended, So I support all types of people, gay, straight, what you call it, drag queens, transgenders. There's a new one called F to M, which is female to male, and I didn't know it until recently, and somebody put me up on game on that, And my thing is, back in the 90s and the 80s, it was hard for a lot of these men and women to come out as gay and lesbians because the families looked frown on them. A lot of these families like, oh, you're gay, get out of the house. Oh, you're gay, you do this. When I used to be part of a mentoring program and I used to mentor kids and I used to do it, I've ran into several. One in particular, I don't remember the person's name. Told me like, my family won't let me do stuff because they found out I was gay, so they won't let me get on the phone. They won't let me do this, and then I've seen ad campaigns that on public transportations and on other ad platforms that they're promoting a lot of kids that you say, oh, I'm homeless because I'm gay, and I'm homeless because I'm this, and because a lot of families don't support homosexuality. And I look at it as if, to me, I understand that homosexuality is a sin. Homosexuality is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. There was a child born every day. Say every day there's 1,000 kids born every day. Out of them 1,000 kids, you're gonna get at least 5 kids that are end up gonna be turning a lesbian woman or a homosexual male, and you can't stop people from doing it. And number one, it's not a phase. You just can't wake up and say, oh, I'm gay, and then you brush it off one day, and then the next day, oh, I love women. Then one day you love men, the next day. It's not a phase. It's something you grow into. It's something that you're born into, because you have that feeling, and I've had people, some people I've asked, what makes you do that? What makes you? There are some people that say they've been raped as a little bit, and then that's the biggest thing. That's why rape is the biggest, most crime in Jamaica, because I've heard people say in Jamaica, the biggest hate crime in Jamaica, the biggest crime in Jamaica is homosexuality, because they say, and the second biggest crime is child molestation, because they say that's where homosexuality come from, that a lot of men have been raped as children, so it becomes in them, and then they become homosexuality as an adult. And I've seen that in America, where a lot of people have said, oh, my uncle raped me as a little kid, or I got raped as a little kid by some guy or something like that, and then the feeling grows within them, and then they become a homosexual human being, male, an adult. So a lot of these people, say that, and which I agree is kind of true, because a lot of these people, they say, oh, I've been raped or molested as a child. So now as I go up, it traumatizes them for a minute. As they go up, they start knowing that this is what, because they tell you, and I've seen it in TV shows, like I've seen episodes where they say, oh, my dad used to beat my mom, so now I'm growing up knowing that that's what I'm supposed to do to my wife, beat my wife up. Or I seen my dad doing sexual acts with another man, so I grew up thinking I'm supposed to do sexual acts with another man. Things like that in a childhood grow. And not everybody is like that, but I'm just saying this is what Most people in society see that as you growing up as a little kid, things you see reflect on how you live as a human being. If you get raped as a little boy at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and then you grow up and then you thinking, oh yeah, it's nice, it's okay to sleep with another man. And the same thing with a woman. This lady touched on me and fondled me, and then as I grow up, you know, I feel like it's okay for a woman to touch on me because it feels good and stuff like that. So a lot of these people, and then now they're chastising and they're just like criticizing Little Nas X for what he's doing. And my thing about Little Nas X is he's changing the rap game, and he's not even much a rapper no more. He's an artist. He's changing the game because look at how many artists is out there. Remember back in the day and I did a episode about this a couple of years ago, and if you go back to my episode a couple of years ago, I did an episode about music, and I talked about Tevin Campbell, and it was alleged that Tevin Campbell, he was a big artist back in the day in the 1990s. He was an artist, Can We Talk, Tomorrow, I'm Ready, Back to the World and everything else. And then when Tevin Campbell came out as homosexual, he was dropped in the music industry, and it's like his career ended as a homosexual. And back in the day, it was frowned upon for artists to come out as homosexuals because, it was hard for a homosexual to come out, period. But if you're in the entertainment industry, it was hard. Just like you didn't see many homosexual actors out there back in the day, but there was very little. And the only homosexual actors out there were straight people who played homosexuals. Like Jamie Foxx played Wanda, Martin played Shanae, Wesley Snipes played in Tu Wong Fu with Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo, and they was dressing up as women. And, you had Vin Rames playing Holiday and Holiday Heart. You had a lot of these straight people playing these homosexual roles like Will Smith and Bagger Vance, and you had a lot of these men that played gay roles in these movies, but you didn't have actual gay men that played gay men in roles. And a lot of that changed in the 2000s as the years grew, that there was allowing homosexuals to play their actual homosexual roles. They allowed homosexuals in the entertainment industry. Back then, it was like, oh no, he's gay, we can't have him in the industry. And like these rappers, oh no, he's a rapper, he's gay, and no. Now that Lil Nas X is coming out, he's changing the game. It's the same way with gospel music. When Kirk Franklin first came out and introduced urban, gospel music, a lot of people frowned on Kirk Franklin. That's not what church music is. Church music is Shirley Caesar and the Kurt Carr Singers and the, Mississippi Mass Choir and, the Five Blind Boys of Alabama and the Winans and all that. So a lot of people frowned on it, on Kirk Franklin. But then as you look at it, Kirk Franklin was just taking gospel music to another level so that all forms of human beings, from the younger generation to the older generation, can enjoy gospel music. Because younger people, they're not going to do dance and flip and do what they can do to Shirley Caesar, or they're not going to dance and have fun and do what they want to do to BB or CC Winans, or to the Mississippi Mass Choir, or they can't do, they can't, some of them don't like old time religion, which is to me old time gospel. Some of them want to have a little fun to it and stuff like that. So they frowned upon it at one point, but then eventually they embraced it. And now it's the same way with homosexuality and in the industry. There are still people that frown upon homosexuality. There are still people that frown upon homosexuality in the industry, in the entertainment industry. But then you still have the support that it is now more supported than it was back then. Lil Nas X, to me, is the first mainstream homosexual gospel. I mean, not gospel. I'm sorry. Excuse me for my correct. Let me correct it. Lil Nas X was the first mainstream homosexual artist to come out as a homosexual, and he's doing it the way he wants to do it. Yeah, I honestly believe there are homosexual men and women in the music and entertainment industry, but they're keeping their sexuality a secret in the closet because of the fact that when they come out, number one, they may lose a lot of fans. Number two, they may lose a lot of support. And number two, a lot of businesses and artists and companies may drop them. Like what happened with Tevin Campbell and what happened to, a lot of things that happened. There was many people that came that have speculations about their. I'm not gonna go through them because they are alleged, and since this is a show, I'm not gonna put anybody's business out there. But there are alleged. There have been several artists. If you want to name the artists, you can drop the comments at the bottom of this page. You can also email me roundtable00. But for allegedly reasons, for security reasons and stuff, I will not drop names. But I've been here, like in the past, I've been told like sexual, and then talking about, and I did this on a show recently. There was a commissioner named Arthur Teal, not Tilly, but Arthur Teal, who was a commissioner for City of Miami, and I did this on a show recently, and I forgot what show it was, but go back to one of the shows. He was a commissioner in the City of Miami, because remember I told you there's the county, Miami-Dade County, and then there's the City of Miami, and he was a commissioner for the City of Miami, and he was a commissioner in the urban area, which is the black area. He was a commissioner, and he went inside, and this was back in the 2000s, I believe, like early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. He went inside the old, which used to be the Miami Herald building, and killed himself in the lobby area. And the reason why he killed himself, and me and a coworker was talking about this, one of the reporters of the Miami Herald put his personal life in the media, which was that he had sexual relations with a transgender person, meaning a guy who dresses as a woman, because they had an interview with the guy on TV, and the guy ended up, telling the story out, and the guy from the news, the Miami Herald, put the story out there. I believe, from what I was told, the guy was since released from the newspaper, meaning fired, and stuff like that, because he exposed the guy. I mean, there was more to it, because there was like corruption and money corruption and stuff like that, but that wasn't the reason for him killing himself, because all politicians, I believe, are crooks. They just don't show that they're crooks, and they'll show that the goodness of them, but I believe in somewhat there are politicians that are crooks. They may not be, they're crooks in different ways. But he killed himself because of the allegations with him sleeping with a transgender male, and it sparked, and it went viral in the community or whatever, and a lot of people, and he killed himself. And that's why a lot of these people kill themselves, because they get tormented, and they get they get tormented, they get tortured because of their sexuality. Little Nas X is only expressing himself as a human being. He wear the flamboyant outfits, he has the flamboyant dances, he does the he has the videos with him dancing with other men. The video he did with Jack Harlow, the Industry Baby, I saw the video and I was like, wow. Call Me By Your Name, I wasn't too much into the video because it really didn't fit. I like the song, but the video, not too much. Industry Baby, I kind of like it because, and then with Industry Baby, Little Nas X is telling you this. First off, I'm an artist. I'm not a gay man. I'm an artist. So don't look at me as, oh, he's gay or whatever. He's just an artist. He's just a gay artist that's trying to produce videos and trying to produce music. And number two, Jack Harlow is a straight man. So for you as a gay artist can team up with a straight man and do a video together, that lets me know that times have changed and that people are embracing homosexuality in the industry. Now you have a lot of homosexuals that do TV commercials, and they're in TV shows, and they have more roles now because of their sexuality, and now they can embrace their sexuality on TV. Because back in the day, it was hard for anybody who was a homosexual. They had to hide their sexuality, just like Tevin Campbell. You know, Tevin Campbell, he was out there singing to girls, and he was out there singing to people and stuff like that. Just like, I'm gonna say this, and I know some of y'all may get offensive. Rest in peace, Luther Vandross. Now there was speculations, which may or may not be true, that Luther Vandross was a homosexual man. Now Luther never came out publicly and said it. If he did, there is no trace of it. But a lot of people, when I was in college back in 2002, when I first went to college back in 2002, because I've been to college a few times. When I was in college, my first time in college in 2002, there was a lady in my class, and she was like, "Yeah, Luther can sing the Luther can sing the panties off of a woman, but he is gay as all is. Like, he can woo a woman out of her clothes, and he can woo a woman to get her naked. But Luther is homosexual." Now Luther never came out publicly, but there's evidence and traces that can lead to it. Because number one, a lot of people say Luther never had kids. Luther was never seen dating a woman, and there was a lot of speculations and a lot of evidence and a lot of things that was leading up to Luther being a homosexual. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say Luther's gay, because, like I said, this is a TV show. I mean, this is a YouTube channel show. So it's like, basically, I can only say allegedly to everything, because it is not, there are a lot of people that still believe that Luther Vandross was a straight man. So I'm going to say allegedly, because we don't know and we can't say for say things. But his sexuality was hidden because of his look how many women adored and loved him. There was a lot of singers from back in the day who kept their sexuality closed, because if they was to come out as a homosexual or lesbian woman, or they was come out to be gay in general, a lot of the people, I don't want to be with him because I'm not gonna buy his music because he's gay. I'm not gonna buy his music because he likes men. I'm not gonna buy his music because now he has a. But now there's a lot of open to it. And my thing is, you either accept it or you don't accept it. You either can accept the fact that this person likes women, she likes women, this man likes men. It's more open now, because now it's more freely. Like down here in South Florida, we have an area called South Beach. I know everybody knows about South Beach. South Beach, most people call it Gay Beach, because that's where a lot of the homosexuals like to go to, because they feel comfortable. Here in Miami, you can't walk in the hoods like Liberty City, Overtown. You can't walk down here dressed in a dress thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gay, I'm straight. You can't walk down the street saying, oh, I'm gay here and acting all gay. But you can still walk down the street and be comfortable in your sexuality, and nobody can do nothing to you because it's more accepted here. But I've seen like in Atlanta, you could probably walk down the street and you can dress and be how you want to be in Atlanta, because Atlanta, like I said, is the capital of homosexuality. It's like the capital of African American homosexuality. But there are certain places like maybe Mississippi, or like I had a friend who was originally from Cincinnati that now they live in another city, and like they say, oh, they frown on homosexuality in Cincinnati. They'll come and kill you, and they'll come and do this, and they'll come and do that. And I'm like, wow, homosexuality, hate crime still exists, in certain cities, because certain cities still frown on homosexuality. And I'm like, yeah, but in America, it's more of accepting homosexuality out there, because now, like every choir, there's at least one or two gay men or lesbian women that are in choirs now, because most choir directors, if you look at it, are homosexual men. Most choir men that sings in the choir are homosexual men. Not saying that they're all, because as a young kid I did sing in the choir because it was required by my mom to sing in the choir. And, so like a lot of kids growing up in churches, you sung in the choir. So it wasn't like I had a choice, or it wasn't like, oh, you was in the choir, you're gay. No, because there was a lot of straight men that also sung in the choir too. And but now it's like more or less, most, and I'm not saying that it's a fact, but I'm saying, in my opinion, most choir directors now that are men are mainly homosexuals. And like, look at Sam Smith. Sam Smith is a homosexual singer, and he's doing good. He's making music. I like the song that he did with Mary J. Blige. And I'm not saying that I like his music, because he's more of a, contemporary type person. I put him in the category with, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. Well, not pop. He's not a pop singer, but he's more like a contemporary artist. And I'm not saying that I don't like his music because he's gay. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of his music because the music that he does is a different type of brand of music. I don't, what I'm saying, I really don't like. And same thing with Frank Ocean, and Frank Ocean completely didn't come out with it, but they say he's had, I think, allegedly he's had dreams or something about him having sex with a man, or he's bisexual or something like that or whatever. But it's more comfortable now because a lot of people are more accepting of homosexuality. And that's why I say, in the past it was hard for a human being to come out and say, I'm a lesbian woman, and now it's more accepting because a lot of people, it's still out there where it's hard for a lot of people to come out like that, because a lot of kids are scared to come out because they know that their family is still, against homosexuality. And I've seen a lot of people that say, I don't like gay people, I don't like homosexuality, but what if you had a son or a daughter that came out as a lesbian or a gay man? What do you do then? My thing is, you're supposed to accept your child for who they is. If your child comes out and say, Mommy, I don't want to like men no more, I want to like women. Or Mommy, I don't want to like women no more, I want to date men. Or Mommy, I like, women's vagina. Mommy, I like to suck on a man's penis. Well, let me clean it up. Mommy, I like to have sex with other men. Because this is a YouTube channel, so I need to clear it up. But basically it's and excuse me for my language, I meant to say it like that, but it came out, the wrong way, but I do apologize. But this is because of the fact that a lot of people don't see that sexuality now is more open. Like now, like I say, it used to be the LGBT community, now it's the LGBT. It then used to be the LGBT community, now it's the LGBTQT community, LGQTB, I forgot, LGBTQT community, because they're adding words every year, they're adding another word to it. And now there's this new thing called FTM, which is female to male, which is females that are that want to be men, and they want to have sex with other men, but they want to be posed as a man, meaning that they used to be a woman, but now they want to be a man. It's just the same thing as transgender or drag queen, which is a man who wants to be a woman, But now they have this FTM, which is female to male. Somebody cooked me up on game to it, because I used to always say, what is FTM? What is FTM? And it's female to male, which is females who wants to live their life as a man, but they want to have sex with men. Basically, that's basically like saying you're a tomboy that want to have sex with men, like you dress and look at. But the thing about female to male is that they have the surgery, meaning that most of them get their breasts cut off, or I don't know if you can produce any organs down there or produce anything that, but I know like a lot of them, they get their breasts cut off, and they they try to form a chest and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is, you like that and stuff like that. So a lot of these things are now coming to play, that homosexuality, and altogether homosexuality is here. And I've seen a lot of recent comments and bad comments about homosexuality in the past, from people, looking down at Lil Nas X and not supporting him. But I'm like, he's just an artist that is embracing his sexuality. What can you do about somebody who's embracing their sexuality? He's one of the very few first artists that are coming out, like with him, Elton John, Sam Smith, in the Caucasian community, or in the Caucasian community. Elton John is Caucasian, Sam Smith is Caucasian, but I'm quite sure they have a background of Latin or whatever in their background, but they're considered, in the Caucasian, community. They embrace it. Oh, Elton John's gay. Okay, come here. But when you are, as an African American man or woman, out here trying to make it in the industry and you're homosexual, they look down on you. Oh, you're gay. I'm not going to support your music. Oh, you're a lesbian. I'm not going to support your music. So now it's more of an thing of how, what I'm saying, what do you think about this? Because I believe as a human being, we all have the right to be open with who we are, and we all have a right to be a human being that can do what we can do. If you're an artist or a lawyer or a doctor, if you're an actor, if you're a singer, whatever you're doing in life, you should be able to be supported for who you are, and not because and what you do, and not because of your sexuality. I want to know how y'all feel about this topic, because I just wanted to get it out there because of the controversy around Little Nas X, and what's been going on with him, and everything. And I've seen comments from other celebrities. I'm not going to name the celebrities. And I've seen comments from people that are like, oh, he's dancing with the devil. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. And a lot of people are saying, really like chastising him, and really like putting, saying, really like doing all these bad comments. And I'm like, what is it? Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. Also, comment at the bottom of this page. I would like to know what y'all think about this, and what do you think about sexuality in modern day? Do you think sexuality is okay? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think it's okay for people to come out with their sexuality now, as more as opposed of keeping it in? Because of what they think the media and the community would think about them. What do you think about this? Email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Also comment at the bottom of this page. I thank y'all for watching this episode of the Roundtable Talk. Don't forget to check out my episode that I did a few years back about Tevin Campbell and the music industry as well. I did a episode about it, and I guess this is just a follow-up episode. And check that out. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. Thank you for watching. Check out my previous episodes. Stay safe. Stay safe. Mask up. COVID is still out there. And I'll see you on the next episode. Have a good day. Bye.